It
Lata,
is.
my screen is visible?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, fine.
it is. Yeah.
Thanks, sure. Thank you. All right. So, welcome back and to the last day of the training. And today we'll be discussing about the real-time ingestion and the processing we have with Azure. Okay. So it's going to be about three core topics. IoT Hub, not much in detail, but we have Event Hubs and Stream Analytics, which is going to be covered for today. And you also need to understand about what an IoT Hub is about to ingest the data. Okay. So today's topic will be based on these three things. And before going to this topic, I just want to know if you have any knowledge on Azure Blob Storage. By any chance, did you, Sashank should have discussed about the blob storage, I guess. Any questions on the blob storage, or you want me to give a heads up on the blob storage? Hello? All right. I assume that you guys have a knowledge on blob storage. Okay, and I will take it further. So there's something called as Lambda architecture that we have in Azure, and the Lambda architecture is exactly what you can see it on the screen. You're going to work with the Lambda architecture on right from the data ingesting side, which is said to be from the producer, okay, and from the consumer where he is going to consume the data across. So the data ingestion can be on any sort of platforms that you can find over here. It can be from Event Hub, it can be from IoT Hub, blob storage, data lake, anything, okay? So Event Hub is the one which helps you to ingest the data, which can process millions of messages at the same time. Okay, you no need to wait until the first message gets processed and the second message gets called from the second sort of consumer or anything or producer, nothing like that. You can connect number of devices and each and every number of devices can process the data at the same time. So there we go up with something called as Event Hub. I would repeat it again, it comes up with a channel. It comes up with processing the message, which we again say it is 2 million of messages at the same time. You can produce a consumer group, you can produce a channel, and you can pass the messages across. We do have the second one, which you can find here as IoT Hub. IoT Hubs is going to help you out when we speak about, let's say, for example, I have a roll of devices, right? I have some auto-driving cars. I have a group of devices which has to communicate within each other. So there I will go up with this IoT Hub. If in case, if let's say, for example, I have auto-driving cars, okay, and the auto-driving car is traveling from source A to destination B, and in between it finds an accident, right, and the road is jammed or anything like that, the car can pass information to the second car saying that you're not supposed to take this road. Either you can take up the another way to reach the destination B across. So this sort of communication, right, between the devices or any IoT device that you speak across, let's say a Raspberry Pi, which is going to communicate with a sensor, an Alexa, which is going to communicate with a smart TV or smart watches that you have, anything, right? So all these things can be communicated using IoT Hub. And Kafka, the one which we are going to use it for the processing that we have under HT Insights. So ingestion can be done with any of these layers. Okay, you can find Stream Analytics. Now, Stream Analytics is a processing layer. Okay, yes. Before going to the Stream Analytics, I will speak about these two things as well. We have something called as blob storage. Blob storage. See, I'm not speaking about files, tables, and queues. I'm just speaking about the blob storage. Blob storage is going to help you out when you need any sort of unstructured data to be uploaded across. Let's say you have a data which is set to be ingested from a watch, from a kiosk, from a mobile app. Okay, it's all now going to be unstructured. There are different type of data formats that comes in, right? So there we will go up saying that it's going to be a blob storage which can accept any sort of unstructured data. Remember, it can just accept the unstructured data, but it cannot do processing at real time. So if you want to take up analytics which has to be processed at real time, then you will go up with this, with this stream called as Azure Data Lake Store. So you have two things there. Data Lake Store is Gen 1 and the other one is Gen 2, which I hope, again, Sashank should have discussed about that. So when you speak about Gen 2, it supports you for both hierarchical name processing. It supports you for object name processing. Okay, so you can go up with any of these things. The second one that we have here is said to be a process layer. That is your speed layer that you have. The speed layer comes up with all these four components. So the work of this speed layer is to ensure that you call the data, you process the data, You do whatever the flavors of things that you need, okay, querying, stream ingestion, anything that you need, okay, and then you're going to pass it towards the next component, which can be machine learning or it can be Power BI, anything like that. So the speed layer is to process the speed. Okay, so you have Azure Stream Analytics, you have HD Insight Storm, you have HD Insight Spark Streaming, and you do have the Azure Data Bricks. Okay, so you can use all these things, any of these things probably I could say. Databricks, I hope again we have covered all these things. Okay, we have Azure Stream Analytics. Stream Analytics is the one which helps you to again process the messages. It can send data to a monitoring queue to trigger the alerts or take up the actions. It can send data to a Power BI dashboard for real-time visualization. It can also store data in other Azure storage services, okay, where you can call it on the Machine Learning Studio or Machine Learning Workspace, something like that. You can store all the historical data. So this is all going to be various forms where you're going to take up jobs. Okay, you're going to give an input, you're going to write a transformation query, and you're going to take up the output across. So the events, which is said to be triggered from Event Hub, IoT Hub, or let's say even a blob storage can be given as input. I would repeat it once again. Stream Analytics can take up any IoT Hub information, okay, data which is said to be from IoT Hub, Event Hubs, or let's say from Azure Blob Storage also to be as an input. Real-time view, you can take up the real-time view, that is your publishing console, where you can take it across using Redis cache, or you can take up with a Cosmos DB, SQL DB, any application layer which is supported by the consumer's consumption. Let's say if I'm saying that I have a web app and the web app has to get the connection string which is based out of SQL database or anything like that, then I will go with Azure SQL DB. Or after doing all these things, still if you're saying that I need to connect with the data warehouse, I need to put it on a SQL database. Okay, so you need to make sense what's going to be the publishing layer and who is going to be the consumer across. So this layer is completely based on the service that we have. Okay, so the service which supports on different format is the one which we are going to use. You can find we have two sort of things, right? You have one is a streaming data and the other one is a batch data. Streaming data comes up with a hot path and batch data comes up with a cold path that you can find. Hot path is said to be the data which is said to be frequently accessed. Okay, it's going to be on the real time that you have. Okay, so there we go up with this hot path. Okay, and cold path is where you have the infrequent of access that you come. Okay, so it said that you have a data, you're just going to ingest it, and it's going to be like a static data that you have. So that's the one which we use it as a batch data. Any questions on this architecture?
Yeah, Firoz, usually
Yeah,
at blob level, we are having the hot data and cold data, right? Both are same.
correct. Yes, yes.
So you mean to say
But
that data which is frequently
no, here
accessed?
I'm sorry to interrupt here. Here I'm not referring towards the hot tier and cool tier. Okay, here I'm referring towards the data which is going to be ingested. When we speak about stream analytics on the Lambda architecture, right, you come up again with the streaming data and you have batch data. When you lay your architecture on the stream analytics, you need to ensure whether the data is going to be of the real time. Like let's say cricket matches, right? You get the data to be ingested at real time. Each and every second, the score, the run rate, all these things has to be updated. Take up traffic signals, right? Again, it has to keep the data which is to be updated at real time. So that will fall under streaming data. So if I speak about stream data, the ingestion should be done using any of these components, Event Hub, IoT Hub, or Kafka. Okay. When I say that I have a fixed data, what I could say, I can say the sales report for this month. Okay, I have a budget where I have like $2 billion and I need to ensure that I have to sell all these Azure towards my partners or anything like that. Okay, so it's a budget limit, right? You have $2 billion, you have list of customers, I have Wipro, I have TCS, I have Infosys, something like that. And I'm going to work only with these customers. I don't have any other new partners. So that's a batch data. That's a fixed data that I have. You're getting the point? So if I'm using a batch data, if I'm using a cold path, I can go up with a blob storage or I can go with a data lake store. Because these guys will not support for me for real-time ingestion. Whereas only Event Hub, IoT Hub, all these people will support me. I hope you're there.
Yeah, yes, Firoz, but still I'm having confusion on hot path actually.
Okay. See, I'll make it simple. If I'm not wrong, your question is, or you're asking me whether you're referring to hot path and cold path, which falls under storage as such. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now let's take up an example. Okay. I will go up with a scenario where I'm going to use this entire architecture. Okay. Scenario one is I'm moving across with a traffic signal. Okay. I have a camera which is connected towards a traffic signal across Mumbai. Okay. And now I need to collect the data of the vehicles which has crossed the white lane, which has not stopped on the red light or something like that. Okay. So I need to collect all this data, which is said to be at different signals that I have across Mumbai. Okay. So this is going to be a real-time ingestion. Each and every, let's say 50 seconds, right? Each and every signal, let's say if there are three roads at one place, all the three signals are going to keep me the data updated, right? About the people who are going to cross the signal as such. So think about the entire Mumbai, right? Think about the entire Mumbai. There will be n number of signals which are going to take the photos, which is going to upload the data. So there are millions of data which gets processed at the same moment of time. I hope you're clear till this.
Yeah.
So this is said to be hot path, streaming data, right? It's going to add n number of messages at the same time, and there we go up with Event Hub or IoT Hub, Kafka, all these things. Are you clear till this?
Yes, yes, Firoz, yeah.
Right? So why I'm saying only Event Hub can be used is that I cannot say that I give an access key, I will give a connection string, and then I can connect with the and then I can connect with the road signal or Raspberry Pi, anything like that. That's not going to work for me, right? I cannot connect devices using a storage account. That's why we are going up with IoT hubs here. And to process the message, we are using Event Hubs, where at the back end, it's going to use Service Bus. It's not Azure Storage Queue. Queue is said to be a lightweighted one, which comes up with storage. We are using Service Bus here. Okay? So these are the reasons why we go up for hot path, which is said to be on streaming data. Now, cold path is when I have fixed amount of data. I told you the business summary, right, previously. Or let's say an e-commerce store. Okay, let's take up Amazon or let's take up Flipkart, something like that. Okay, Amazon will be having a limited number of customers for this quarter of business, right? For this, let's say for 4 months or 3 months, something like that. Okay, they are not going to accept the vendors for at least this 4 months. They're going to do business only with this group of vendors for this quarter. Okay, so there is said to be limited one. The batch ingestion is going to be only within these vendors, and there we will go up with this batch data. You're getting the point. There are no real-time ingestion over there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go up with this cold path. I hope now you're clear.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah. Any other questions?
But Event Hubs, IoT and Kafka will support image processing and video processing as well.
Yes, they support. You're right. Which again the same, right? We are coming back towards the same question. Okay, where video processing is said to be a real time, isn't it? I go to let's say we have a list of people, images, data sets, which are kept in our office or something like that. By the time I log in, it has to recognize the face and it has to keep the data to be uploaded. So there might be 5 people who are entering the campus at the same time, 10 people who are entering the campus at the same time. Okay, it has to go up with real-time engagement. All these things can be supported only with Event Hub or IoT Hub, right? It cannot make it across to it's a blob storage. A blob can just keep the data to be stored, data sets to be stored. Let's say how Firoz looks like. That's it, isn't it? It cannot say that this is the video detection that I'm going to come across like that. So there we go up with streaming data.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Good, Mahesh. That's really a good discussion we had. All right. We will go up with IoT Hub. Okay, I will speak a bit in detail about the IoT Hub. So the IoT Hub will come up with cloud scale messaging. Okay, you can scale to millions of connected devices. I said you can connect n number of devices that you have. Okay, like an auto-driving car or a road signal system. It can communicate between the device to cloud and between the cloud to device. Okay, so that's where we go up with the IoT Hub. I would repeat it. It can communicate from the device to cloud. Let's say from a Raspberry Pi, the Raspberry Pi which you are going to have it on your on-prem, right, your office location or something like that. It can communicate towards the cloud environment, towards IoT Hub. Okay, and the either way it can do. It can communicate from cloud to device as well. So there we go up with this IoT Hub. Further, we have the device management and security. So you can say how you're going to give the authentication for per device. Okay. And at top of it, the support that you get for the protocol, right? The security protocol. So that it supports with HTTP, MQTT, and AMQP. Okay. So that's about your IoT Hub that we have. I have a beautiful architecture for you guys, which speaks about the device capabilities and everything. Can you find your, we have the device connectivity. Okay, you can connect the devices. We have IP capable device, okay, which can connect to cloud securely and it can connect directly. Okay, so that's an IoT client. Again, I can say a Raspberry Pi or anything like that. So it can use HTTPS or it can use AMQP, anything. Okay, and it can connect with it. The second thing is said to be existing IoT device. Maybe they can connect to the cloud or they cannot cloud. I mean, it's not mandatory that it has to get connected to its cloud or anything like that. There I can go with the existing IoT device. Let's say I have an IoT device which is to be connected within the office environment, right? Within this particular office environment. There I will go up with existing IoT devices. I need to just say that when someone logs in, keep the data to be updated at the on-premise data center what I have or towards the server that I have. Okay. So there all I will go up with existing IoT device. I no need an IoT device to communicate with any other IoT device, something like that. In those cases, I will go up with existing IoT device. They don't support a protocol that the cloud gateway supports, okay, which is nothing but MQTT or the custom one, okay, which will not be supported by the other gateways. We also have something called as low power devices. It's not internet connected or they don't have CPU power to securely communicate with the cloud. When you go up with the IoT Hub, when you go up with IoT Edge, you will say that I am going to distribute with something called as a compute power. So when I say low power device, I would not have all these things to be configured. Okay. So these are the three different sort of things that we have, which is said to be as a local. You need to make sense what sort of device communication you're going to use. Okay. And you can connect with the gateway as well. So you can go up with the gateway. You can say that this is my IoT client, the field gateway that you have, low power device or anything. You're going to make sense here. And you're going to connect the device towards the Azure IoT Hub. You can move up with the data processing and you can go up with the analytics. Okay, you can take up the backend. You can ingest the device towards the cloud. You can also egress cloud to device and you can securely connect the device with authentication or connectivity. Okay, so this security layer falls on the 3-1 which I was speaking here. Okay. Any questions on this architecture? All right, guys. I assume it's good to go. Here we are creating a... Yeah, go ahead, Mahesh. Hello. Hello. All right. So here we have this creating IoT Hub. Okay. Creating IoT Hub can be done with any of these things. You can put up with a REST API, you can go up with the ARM template, or you can even go up with Azure portal. So let's say if you're going up with Azure portal, you'll be having IoT Hub, and using the IoT Hub, you can start working on it. Okay. ARM template is also same. The one which I have missed out here is I can even use Cloud Shell. So using Cloud Shell, I can connect with the devices. Okay, the IoT Hub and all these things. The third thing is the REST API. You can find the put method, which I have mentioned over here, right? You can use those things to add up the data that you have. Speaking about the pricing plans, it depends on the number of devices that you're going to connect and the number of messages that you're going to process per day. Okay, so you have IoT Hub, which comes up with the free tier, and you also have the standard tiers. So free tier in the sense you can process up to 8,000 messages per day. Okay, You can have 500 devices which are limited to connect with. Okay, you can find the service plans which I have mentioned here. This is a PaaS service that you have. And when I speak about standard, you have more amount of device to cloud connectivity and cloud to device connectivity that we have. All right, guys. So further, the IoT Hub will come up with the security boundaries like your host name you're going to put across, your REST API endpoint that you're going to mention. Okay, so you have a IoT Hub owner. You need to make sense. See, I have given it on the screen. You have the IoT Hub owner where you're going to say all the policies with all permissions that it is going to be declared with. Service is the one policy with service can connect. Okay, that's your service connect permission that you have. Device is where the policy with device connect permission, it allows sending and receiving on the device side of endpoints. And further, you have the registry read, where the policy with registry read permission can be enabled. Registry read and write is also there, where the policy with the registry read and registry write permissions can be added up over there. Speaking about the security policy, we come up with shared access policies. Okay, shared access policy helps you to go up with, let's say that I will come up with different policies for different guys. Okay. You also have IoT Hub device. You will go up with the IoT Hub device registry. You will go up with the portal things. You can find it here. Okay, and you have the IoT device where you can come up with each device to be added up across. Okay, let's go up with the demo. Or before going to the demo, I want you guys to make sense about event hubs as well. This is about the supportive platforms that we have. We have C, we have Node.js, Java, .NET, Python, all these things. And you can get the IoT skills SDKs to be downloaded from the GitHub link that you have here. Any questions on IoT SDK until now? All right. Just take some 2 minutes. Okay, make sense about how the IoT Hub is going to work for you. And then I will go with the event hubs. We are going to work on the demo, but please make sense about whatever we discussed until now. And then we will go with the event hub.
Which sense will go with IoT Hub and Event Hub, Firoz? Means,
When you ideally have an IoT device, right, Raspberry Pi, Arduino, or you have some simulation device or something like that, then you will go up with IoT Hub. I would ideally say the Azure support on huge ratios based out of Raspberry Pi, which is on Windows 10 IoT Core OS. So I told you, right, this can support you with C, Node.js, Java. So this platform dependency supports you get when you speak with IoT Hub connected with the devices like Raspberry Pi. So there we will go up with IoT Hub. Event Hub is like a simple, let's say you have embedded or you have any sort of Arduino even, right? Let's say you're coming up from open source operating system from Arduino or anything like that. Okay, there we will go up with the Event Hub.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Can we go up with Event Hub? Okay, yes. We will go up with Event Hubs. See, Event Hubs is where it's again going to be an input layer that we have. Okay, Event Hub will help you to go up with highly scalable. Okay, it's going to be a highly scalable data ingress service. I again repeat it. Okay, it referred to this architecture which I showed you guys, right? If you, I will share the slide, okay, but if you need, you can take a screenshot of it. You can even find it over the Google itself about the Lambda architecture. You have something called as ingestion, the first layer that you have, right? Leave the data, okay? The first layer that you have, the ingestion, is where you're going to come up with this event hubs. So event hub is said to be a highly scalable data that you have, and you're going to ingest the service, okay, that can ingest millions of events per second so that you can process and analyze the massive amounts of data produced by your connected devices and applications. I can repeat it for you. If you have more number of devices, okay, if you have more amounts of data which are produced by your IoT devices or anything like that, then you will go up with your event hub. So if it is just like I have a Raspberry Pi that's going to communicate with another Raspberry Pi, or that's it's like one-to-one communication between the message to cloud and I mean device to cloud and cloud to device or anything like that, then we can stick towards IoT hub. Whereas if I say that there will be more number of data which is going to be added across, then I will go up with this event hub. So event hub acts as the front door for an event pipeline. And once when the data is collected into an event hub, it can be transformed and stored using any real-time analytics provider or by using batch or storage adapters. Event hubs will decouple the production of a stream, okay, and it also goes up with the stream of events from the consumption of those events so that event consumers can access the events on their own schedule. I will repeat it once again. Event stuff is going to decouple. Okay, it's going to decouple the production of streams. So it's going to split the messages and it's going to pass to its multiple channels of communication that you have. Event Hub is also an event processing service that you have. Okay, so it's going to help you to provide event and telemetry ingress to the cloud at massive scale with low latency and high reliability. Let's take it further. You have event hubs here. I told you, right, you have different mediums of communications. You have publishers and you have consumers as well. So Microsoft Azure Event Hub is a managed platform service that provides a foundation for large-scale data intake in a broad variety of scenarios. Example of such scenarios are behavior tracking in mobile apps, okay, traffic information, web funds, ingestion, okay. Take the batting one, right? I can show you a beautiful video. I don't know whether voice will be supported for you guys. Let's make it in real time so that you can make sense. Have you ever seen this Spectacum bat? This is using Event Hub and Scheme Analytics. Wait, I will show you. Spectacum. Sure. See this video, right? This one, Spectacum Power Bat. I just need to go up with the architecture on this. I will share this link. You can check this video later. Go up with this architecture here. Can you make sense? Excuse me. All right. Sorry to interrupt. So here you have, see, we have Spectacum. Okay, you have a bat, you have a power bat, you have the edge devices where it's going to communicate with the mobile receiver and you have the mobile device over here. It can communicate with the IoT hub. Can you find this? It's going to ingest the data from one device, okay, from one particular device. It's going to be connected with one mobile app alone, and then you will take it towards Event Hub. So IoT hub will help you to connect with number of devices. From these devices, ingestion of messages on millions or anything like that can be connected towards the event hub, and the action can be taken up using a Azure function or using the Azure Cosmos DB, something like that. Okay, so I'm repeating it again. It's an event processing service that provides event and telemetry ingress to the cloud at massive scale with low latency and high reliability that you have here. Okay, because see, this is going to provide you low latency because you have more number of messages which can be communicated, and it's going to give you high reliability as you have different sort of consumers and producers that you come across. Any questions on this, on the event hub part? I'll just close this and I will help you more across to speak about event hub. See, there's said to be consumer pattern that you have. Okay, you have a partition consumer pattern. By default, event data will be distributed into partitions using a round robin model over here. Can you find we have different partitions? Partition starts from 1 to up to n. Depends on what service plan that you're going to use. This is not always ideal because let's say, for example, you may want all event data from a specific session to always go to same partition. In this case, you might specify a partition key or session ID. Okay, when you assign a partition key, it will be like a hash-based one, and all events of the same partition key will be sent to the same partition that you have. Other scenarios where a partition key is useful is in cases where you need to maintain the event order. Okay, cases where you want to avoid use of a partition key would be cases where high availability is the most critical aspect of the solution that you have here. So I can just give you a huge terminologies that we have here. You have variety, okay, you have velocity, all these things. You need to make sense about all these things before you get into the engagement service on your event hub. Just take a note of it. You have variety. Variety is the senders that you have, the number of messages with these three different protocols. Makes sense. IoT hub also comes up with the same, but there it's only about the device. Here it is about the messages. Velocity is going to be the event data ingression that happens for per second. Volume is the amount of data that you're going to ingress. Egress is going to be concurrent consumer apps. Okay, let's say a mobile app that you're going to connect with, same like the Spectacum which I told you, showed you now. Security is going to be the shared access policy and the SaaS tokens that you're going to use. You also have buffer. If the device is not able to consume the data or anything, you can use the buffer. You have durability between 1 and 30 days. It can store the data. You have latency where it can retrieve the data less than 10 milliseconds. Okay, that's like a high availability that what Azure promises you. It's cheap in cost that you have. Okay, it's a PaaS service and it's also compatible with all the big data workloads majorly gone with read and write operations using Kafka topics. Here I have a comparison between Event Hub and IoT Hub for you. So these are like major things, right? I have around like 6 to 7 sort of terminologies which I have mentioned over here. Let's take first communication. Okay, one of the main quests for IoT Hub is to gather telemetry from devices. For this reason, IoT Hub is often compared to Azure Event Hub. Like IoT Hub, Event Hub is an event processing service that enables event and telemetry ingress to the cloud at massive scale with low latency and high availability. But still makes sense that services is going to be having many differences between them. When you say communication, Event Hub can only do event ingressing, device to cloud communication. But this can do two-way of messaging. It can communicate between device to cloud and from cloud to device as well. Further, you have the device protocol support. It supports for all the three ones that you have AMQP with the WebSockets, AMQP and HTTP as well. Whereas in IoT Hub, you have more number of supports that you get. It helps you to connect with different IoT protocol gateways as well, okay, on Azure or anything. You have Event Hubs, which is wide shared access policy. Okay, it comes up with a wide shared access policy on security, whereas here it's going to be on the device access controls that you have. You can mention security based on each and every devices. Makes sense. You also have the operations monitoring. We call it as OMS, which you can monitor using the aggregate metrics alone. Whereas there you can go up with each and every device, the timeout that you had, data in, data out, okay, throttling that you had, the formats that it was thrown out, okay, so all these things can be monitored over IoT Hub. Scaling can be done, which supports limited number of devices, okay, as per the service bus quotas. I told you, right? But this is the most powerful service that you have in Event Hub. Service bus is the most powerful one. Your IoT hub, I'm sorry, your queue that comes up with storage, right? That's said to be a lightweighted one. In IoT hub, you can process millions of messages simultaneously using connected device because the device itself comes up with storage. Okay, each and every device will be having a storage for you. Language support is on the .NET, C and REST API. It also comes up with interfaces which is said to be on the AMQP or it comes up with HTTP and things like that. Whereas the IoT Hub will come up with .NET, Node.js, all these things. Go up with file upload. File uploads can be supported any file from device to cloud or anything like that using file notification endpoint. It's a REST endpoint like a blob storage. So there we go up with IoT Hub. Whereas here in Event Hub, you need to give the access key for the storage and that's where you're going to ingest the data in. Is that okay? Any questions until this? Any questions? Okay, by that I'm going to come to an end for Event Hub and the next I'm going to move with Stream Analytics. Let me make sense that I will brief all these things to you people and then I will go with the demo. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions on the IoT Hub and Event Hub so far, because Stream Analytics is going to accept data input, which is said to be either from IoT Hub or from Event Hub. Any questions?
Event Hub only work for getting the message. Means it is not push mechanism.
Mahesh, I'm not getting your question. Your voice is breaking. Can you come again, please?
So I want to collect the data that.
Hello. Hey, go on mute here, guys. Hello.
ഇതൊരു കള്ളക്കളിയുമല്ല. ഈ ഗവൺമെന്റ് അധികാരത്തിൽ വരുമ്പോ മെല്ലെ സംഭരിച്ച് നമ്മൾ സിവിൽ സപ്ലൈസ് കോർപ്പറേഷൻ
Sri Lakshmi, can you go on mute? I don't know who is. Okay, now it's better. Yeah, Mahesh, go ahead. What was your question?
See, if I, for example, if I take my data is present at database level, so
okay.
Event Hub, I can't pull that data. So once my database pushes that one to my Event Hub, then I can process that. Means then I can take that as an event.
So you're saying that you cannot take the data directly towards from a SQL database or anything like that. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. SQL DB cannot be supported towards the Event Hub. So what you need to do is you have to connect the data towards a data warehouse or anything, because here it's moreover going to be huge volumes of data that you have. You're saying that it's millions of data that you're going to ingest, right? So when you speak about a standalone SQL database, it's not needed that you need to come for Event Hub or anything like that. You can do the analytics just normally using your data warehouse that it supports with, do go with Power BI or anything because it's limited number of instructions that you have. Analytics is not not a finger cross situation when you speak about limited number of messages on a standalone SQL database. If you have more number of database which are going to be ingested or anything like that, then event hub supports, you can call the data from your, probably let's say that your SQL data warehouse or anything like that.
Okay, but actually my SQL database is in on-prem. I need to once the data has been loaded at database level, my event hub has to pull that data based on 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Okay, good. That can be done. See, your SQL database which you have is set to be at on-prem, right? So there you will be having, you need to go with a connectivity which is set to be a MI1, SQL Database Managed Instance. Okay, you need to create a SQL DB MI. You need to do DMS. You have to route your data towards Azure Cloud, and from there you can connect towards Event Tab. You can also do it directly. You can say that I will put up a gateway at the on-prem. I can connect with the database which is set to be at on-prem as such. But make sure whether all these millions of data which is going to read and write the messages by the Event Hub is going to be supported for you on the throughput level as such, right? If the throughput is not supported, then your architecture is again going to move down on the performance.
Okay.
So the recommended solution is you go up with a MI. Okay. If you need, I can give you a link. Okay, we have a real-time scenario where we have SQL towards Event Hub connectivity, all these things. You just ping me across by the end of this session so that I can help you out. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
So real time means it will consider as a microseconds or milliseconds or seconds.
It is going to be microseconds that we have. Okay. Because it's huge in volume. Okay, you have much producer channels, and again, one thing, yes, it's important. It's moreover based on the service plans that we are going to use. If you are using free, it's going to be microseconds. Okay, if it's going to be standard or anything like that, you will be coming up with the milliseconds that you have. Okay, and the max, SLA, say is 6 milliseconds that you come across. Okay, guys, we will go up with the stream analytics now. Okay, so stream analytics, again, a major topic, the one which we were discussing about the inputs that we had so far. Okay, we are going to take it at real time. So this stream analytics is going to help you out on the real-time stream processing. Okay, it's going to stream millions of events per second. You can accept multiple inputs, multiple outputs that you have. It might be from SQL, it might be from Event Hub, IoT Hub. Okay, so SQL in the sense you can connect with Event Hub and then you're going to access. So it might be Event Hub, IoT Hub, or it can be either across with your, let's say for example, your, what's the other one here? Your blob storage. Okay, so 3 inputs can be accepted. Output can be on any streams. It can be Cosmos DB, it can be Power BI, anything. Okay, and it's familiar with the SQL-like language. okay, and it's easy to use for you. Here is how your stream analytics can be created. Your stream analytics jobs can be managed from the Azure portal, PowerShell, CLI, Cloud Shell as well. Okay, so you can go up with any of these things. Generating the ARM template should help you out with the rest of the three platforms which I told you, except your Azure portal. CLI does not have commands for stream analytics. Okay, just remember that. It can be still used with ARM template, but CLI, okay, command line interface does not have commandlets for stream analytics. Data stream, that is your input data stream, can be accepted on these three things which I told you. Okay, Event Hub, IoT Hub, or blob storage. Reference data is recommended to be stored on your blob storage. It's for lookup. Okay, and output can be on any of these formats: SQL database, Azure storage, Azure functions, service bus, Cosmos DB. I hope all these things should be familiar for you guys. Okay, Stream Analytics supports three major industry serialization formats. Okay, JSON, CSV, and Avro. Okay, JSON is your JavaScript object notation. I hope you guys know that. It has become a standard serialization for us for the format over recent years. It's a schema-less format that is supported on all major developments. Okay. We also have CSV, which is a standard data format again. It's also schema-less and supported on all major development platforms as well as the older platforms as well. Okay. You can find it here, right? It's showed in the top right screenshot. Can you find this? This is CSV. And the left that you have here, right? This is said to be JSON. The Avro is the one which you can find here. It's primarily used by Hadoop. Okay, it's going to use a JSON file to define the schema with the data being serialized into a binary format that you have. Excuse me. Further, you have the Stream Analytics job query. Okay, you can do the input and output mapping over here using SQL-like languages. Once the input and outputs of the Stream Analytics jobs are set up, the query to map data across needs to be written. The query is written in SQL-like language, that is subset of T-SQL. Okay, and this keeps things familiar and it keeps you easier for implementing Stream Analytics. So can you find this? The data which I have given here, I mean the queries which I have given here, the sample select query. Okay, it shows the most simplistic mapping that just pulls all the data and column from an input named your input alliance and passes the output towards your output alliance. And SQL language functions, I have given a heads up over here. You should be familiar with this as well again. You have a list of SQL functions supported here. Okay, you have aggregate, you have analytics, array, conversion, date and time, okay, mathematical, all these things. Well, guys, so let's take it across. I'll go with a demo for this Stream Analytics part. Okay, so first I'm going to move up with the Stream Analytics and let's start working on creating a Stream Analytics job using the Azure portal that you have. Any questions until this?
So how can we ensure only exactly one semantics will apply here?
Exactly one?
One semantics means I can access only my Event Hub data only once. I don't want any duplicates kind of thing.
You have the shared access policy, right? I showed you the shared access policy. You can configure from there.
Okay.
You remember when I was discussing about Event Hub, I was showing you shared access policy.
Yeah, shared.
So
yeah.
that will help you out. So your question is, if I'm not wrong, you're saying that only once your data should be consumed across. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, that you can do it here. You can just go across saying that I will make sense with your shared access policy as such.
Okay. So each and every time my stream analytics consume the data and it will authenticate and it will say I have received so and so data each and every
You're
time.
right. Yes. Remember, but you have to pay separately for that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's go up with the demo for the Stream Analytics one. Okay, and I will just take up my account. Just give me a moment. I'll share you the account details. I'll complete the demo and then I will share you the account details which you guys can use. All right, let's go here for creating a resource and let's go up for IoT. Okay. So my input here is, see, I have three major things that I need to do. Okay, let's go up with a notepad that should help you out. Prepare the input data. This is going to be the first point that we have to work. Okay, so let's go across here and I will say I have IoT and I will call the data from the IoT hub, the one which we discussed. Okay. So here, let me create a resource group. I'll say TCS resource group. It's Southeast Asia. And let's say Code Sizzler IoT. Okay. Next is about sizing that we have. Let's go with I can say I will go up with a free tier here, okay, instead of standard. Can you find this? We have free tier. Okay. So this is going to tell you how many number of devices are going to be communicated like that. Okay. Okay. Let's do one thing. I'll go with the standard as well. I'll say S1 standard. Can you find this? But the billing is a bit high, costing per month. And this is only for demo. Recommended to go with free. So you guys can also go up with the free one. Okay. It's going to support you with everything. Not that it's not going to support or anything, because we have less number of data that we are going to ingest. Okay. So device to cloud messaging can be supported, message routing, cloud to device commands, okay, IoT edge, the one which we discussed, right? All these things will be supported over here. You can go up with review and create and you can start creating it. Okay, I will say review and create and let's start creating this. So now let's say create and then I will create this instance. I'm just waiting for the deployment to be completed. This will take a bit time. Meanwhile, let's do one thing. I will share the account credentials for you guys, okay, and you can use that for your demo, okay? I'll just put it on the notepad, wait. So go with this account details, Azure account details for demo, okay? And make sure you will be at the same free plans that you have. Okay, you should not go with the higher versions. If you're doing that, your account will get, your resource will get deleted by default. Right, so this is the password that we have. Okay, go with this. I will just put it across with your text chat. Use this user ID and password, okay, to create the service. I'll give you time for the demo. Just make sense. I'll complete this input terminal and then I will give you the time. Okay. So let's go to the resource. And under IoT device, I'll say I need to add a device. Can you find this? I have new and I can add a device here. So let's say that I'll keep it to be added. Let's click on add and I will say IoT device, road Sizzler. Okay, you have authentication type which we discussed. You have symmetric key, all these things. Okay, let's say enable and we will click on save to get it saved. So here the device gets added up. Your IoT device which you have here is getting added up. Okay. So I would like to repeat it once again. You just need to go up. You have to create the IoT device. Okay, your IoT hub, and you need to ensure that your IoT device is also added up across. And now once with the IoT device is added, you can go up with the shared access policies. Can you find here? And you can declare the policy on which the consumption has to be done. So the one which I was saying, right, you have the hub owner, service, device, okay, all these things. And further, you also have something called as connection strings. Let me scroll down. I can show you the connection strings here. Let's go for IoT device. So we should be finding it over here. Let's go here and yeah. Can you find it over here? You have something called as manage keys, okay, and you will be having the connection strings as well over here. See, we have primary connection string and you also have the secondary connection string over here. You can copy these things, okay? So let me say that I will copy this primary. You can click on this visible, right, and then you can find the primary connection string. Let's click on this button that you have here and it gets copied. I can wait for you guys over here and you can just get it completed. Then we can move further for the input terminals, okay? Hi, Shravani. Hello. All right, guys, go ahead with the demo. Here is your user credentials. You can use this.
Hi, Firoz, Swati here. Hi, Firoz, are you there?
Hi, Shwati. Yeah, I'm there. Tell me, please.
Yeah. Do we have to use the existing resource group that you have created for TCS?
No, yeah. Go with
Okay.
creating your own group. You don't need to get conflicted on this because you will get confused. So create your own group. Okay?
Okay. And the subscription used is the Visual Studio Enterprise one, right?
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Hi, Firoz.
Hi, Shwati.
Yeah, I just wanted to know the pricing and the scale tire should be F1 free tire or it should be the
Yes,
standard?
it should be free tier, Shwati. I have just written here on the notepad.
Okay. But
Yeah.
it is saying that only one free IoT hub is allowed per subscription.
I'm sorry, can you come again?
It's saying that only one free IoT hub is allowed per subscription.
Oh. Okay, then do one thing. You just use my own one, right? I have already created. Now you can register your device over there on that IoT hub. You're getting the point? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
I have created the IoT hub, right? So go with this IoT hub itself. Guys, it's common to all. Okay, go with this IoT hub, Code Sizzler IoT. Come to
Okay.
this device point. Okay, come for IoT devices. Click on New and add your device here. Because we are going to work only on this access key, not over here or anything.
Okay.
I hope you are getting it right, Shwati.
So under my own resource group, I need to select the IoT device that you have created, right?
No, not on your resource group. You should come inside my resource group. You should find TCS-RG. There you should find it. Just see my screen.
Okay.
I've let you know. You come for resource groups. Okay.
Yeah.
And go for TCS-RG.
Okay.
And there you should go up with your Code Sizzler IoT. Can you find this? Click on this Code Sizzler IoT. And there you should go up with IoT devices. Click on New and add your device. Let's say, for example, if you're trying to add, make it as Shwati IoT device, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Hey guys, just give me a heads up if you're done till this. Let's
Hi, Firoz. Actually, do I need to create a new RG, or I'm stuck over
No,
there?
Swati, you no need to go for new RG.
Okay.
I will repeat, you can come for resource groups. This is how your Azure portal looks, right?
Right.
See, this is your home page. Come for resource
Right.
groups. Select my resource group. Okay, I have created a resource group named TCS-RG.
Right. But I'm not able to see that actually.
Is it?
Yes.
Just give me a moment. Imtiaz, this is the same subscription what you have shared for the TCS people, right? Visual Studio Enterprise one. So they should be able to find TCS-RG. Okay. One moment, okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I can see only two resource groups actually, Cloud Shell one and the Network Watcher.
One sec. So, Swati, here you should select Enterprise 1. Can you find this? Yeah, Visual Studio Enterprise 1. You need to click on this directory for subscription. Go
Okay.
for Visual Studio Enterprise 1. Okay. Now, let me go here for the resource group. See, we have TCS-RG. Are you clear?
Okay.
You want me to repeat it? I can do.
Yeah, I saw that now. Now I
All
can.
right, yes. Okay, fine.
And then I have to
Yeah,
select the
so
code Sizzler
you
IoT,
need to
right?
go for this IoT, yeah, Code Sizzler IoT. And inside that, you need to go up with your, just give me a moment, it's getting loaded. Yeah, can you find IoT devices?
Yeah.
So go for IoT device and you need to say add a new IoT devices. Okay. Click on new and so when you click on new, you would be getting it like this. I hope you can find my screen. Make it as Swati IoT, something like that. For your understanding, you should be able to sync it up. So just give the naming, that's it. Okay, and this all will be taken by default. Okay, you need to click on save. And once after you create it, you will be finding a screen like this. You will be landing up on this screen. Okay, you will be finding Swati IoT, something like that. You need to get into that. You will be having keys here. Give me a moment, it's loading. Yeah, can you find this? You have primary connection string and secondary connection string. So you need to copy it across. Okay. Apparently, you should copy the connection string which is said to be for primary key. Okay, this one, primary connection string. Okay.
1 minute. I have to save first, right?
I'm sorry, you have to?
When I gave the name for the IoT, I need to save it first, right?
You're right. Yes.
Okay. And then where do I
So
get
once
this
after
page?
it gets added up, you will be getting this page. Am I right? You should find device ID. Here you will find your name.
Yeah.
Can you find this? You can see my screen, right? I
Right.
have Swati IoT. So I can click on this and I can keep the keys to be added up. So you can go for key and you can add the key here. Okay, you have connection string.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we have to copy this into?
Just keep it on Notepad here, like this. Can you
Okay.
find this? I have copied on Notepad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Feroz.
No problem, Shwati, that's fine. Edis, let me know if you're done till this. We will go up for the next step on creating the blob storage. Hey guys, are we good to go with the storage one? Blob storage? All right, I'll go up with the blob storage now. So let's click on create a resource. Okay, makes sense. The second is about the blob storage. So I will say storage. You have storage here. And let's go up with the blob storage here. Okay. Storage account. TCS resource group. Codes is the blob Southeast Asia. Okay. All right. Locally redundant should be fine. Okay. Please make sure that you'll be using the same. Okay. The data sets, what I'm going to give now, you need to use the same. Okay. When you go for the demo. Excuse me, guys. I'll just give me. I'm connecting the audio once again. Hello. Am I audible? Okay, it's speaking. All right. Let's go to the blob storage now. Okay, I'll go to the resource. Let's go to the blob and I'll create the container now. Okay, so let's say container and I'll name mine as code Sizzler container. Okay, or code Sizzler 1. And it's set to be a private access. Let's click on OK to get it created. Now I would recommend you guys use the same storage account. Okay, come for the storage account, which is Code Sizzler. Can you find this? The storage account name is Code Sizzler Blob. You can find it on my resource group. Okay, come for the storage account and create your own container, please. Come for the storage account, Code Sizzler Blob, okay, and create your own container. This should be a private level of access. Let me know if you're done this. We will go up with configuring the job input, okay? Have you all created the containers? You have blobs. Okay, only one has created it. All right, no problem. I will go with the further steps. Okay, let's go up with creating a stream analytics job now. Okay, so you can go to the Azure portal and let's say I need to create a stream analytics job. Let me search for stream analytics. Let me go for stream analytics job and I'll create a resource here. Okay, so here let's say it's going to be Code Sizzler job. Okay. Enterprise 1 is my subscription. Resource group is TCS-RG. Okay. Location is Southeast Asia. And streaming units, you remember we were discussing this. Streaming units will represent the computing power that you have, okay, to execute the job. So here I will set the value as 1, okay. Let's go up with 1 value. And hosting environment, you can either select cloud or you can go up with edge. Okay, it can be deployed to cloud or edge. Cloud allows you to deploy towards the Azure cloud, and edge allows you to deploy towards an Azure IoT edge. Here it's going to be on the cloud environment, so I will say cloud, and I'll click on create to get it created. Okay, stream job is created. I'll go here. Now please make sense here. I told you, right, you have inputs, you have output, you can write query functions. Okay, I can even show you, excuse me, the slide once again. Yeah, this one. Makes sense here. See, we said we have input and output mapping we do, and we have query functioning, right? So see, on this screen, I have input, I have output as well, okay, and I have query functioning which I can write it across. Now we have to configure input, so I will go to the input and I'll give an input here, okay? Let's say add an input, add stream input. My data is set to be at IoT Hub, so let's go for the IoT Hub part. And I'll say Code Sizzler IoT, okay? And let's select the IoT Hub which we have, that's your Code Sizzler IoT Hub. Endpoint is going to be a messaging one that we have, okay? And access policy name, let's go up with the IoT Hub owner that we have here, okay? You have two things, one is service and the other one is IoT Hub owner. I would recommend you guys to go up with the owner because you need the complete privileges on it. Shared access policy will be created on its own. Leave all these things, okay? Encryption, serialization format. So we were discussing, right? We have three things. Avro, CSV, you remember? It's Avro, CSV, and JSON. So you can represent any of your data input. Here I will say it's going to be JSON, and I'll click on save to get it created. Okay, so input has been created. Let's go to the output and I'll configure the output over here. Let's say add, and I'll give the output as blob storage. And let's name it Code Sizzler output. Okay, Code Sizzler out. Select blob from the subscription that we have. My blob is Code Sizzler blob. Okay. And okay, I have a container over there. My container is Code Sizzler. Just give me a moment. I will check it. I hope it's container 1 which I created. The other one is in some of you people have created, I guess. Yeah, let's go up with this Code Sizzler 1. And I'll write a path. Okay, okay, let's leave that, right? We no need path over here. Let's leave it as default. And serialization is the same, JSON that we have. Format is line separated. Okay, let's click on save to get it added up. Okay, now we have the input and the output terminal which we have connected with. Okay, and you should be able to find we have the other details which we have configured. Now we can go to the query and you can run your queries. Okay. Let's say if you have some sample data set written for temperature or something like that, I can go to the query and I can say, just give me a moment. Can you find this? We have input. So they give you a default value, so you need to just change it. My input here is set to be the one which we created. What is it? Sorry, output. Output is storage, right? Let's just check it. Here itself we have. It's code sizzler out. Okay. So let's say it is code sizzler out that I have for output. Okay. And for input, it is code sizzler IoT. Code sizzler IoT. Okay. So that's the input that we have. So you can just click on save. Right. So from IoT Hub, let's even say that I can give a defined value saying that having temperature greater than 27. Okay, this is the query that we are going to write to execute to get the data from the IoT Hub, okay, on real-time analytics. I will be waiting for you guys over here. You can just let me know after you complete till this. Hey guys, just give me a heads up once after you're done till this. Joseph, looks
Hello?
like your mic is on. Yeah.
Hi, Firoz. Can you once? I think I missed that.
Joseph, your voice is breaking here. Can you come again?
If you can show me the input tab.
Sure, sure.
I missed.
No problem here. You go to the input here. Click on add stream input. Your input is supposed to be IoT Hub. Okay. Click on IoT Hub and keep the data to be added up over here. So it should be same like what I have given here. Naming can be anything, but you need to remember the name when you write the queries.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. Hey guys, can we go ahead? All right, I'll give you enough time for the demo. Okay, let me complete this. Okay, this is just like one step we have to complete for today. I'll go with this link. Okay, you can even take up a note of the same. I will put it on the chat panel. Okay. See, we have some data which is set to be at live. Okay, we don't have anything on live. So for demo, I'm referring towards what Microsoft has given us. Okay, let's go with this simulator. Okay, what is the GitHub? Sure. Okay, it is samples. Let's go up here and okay, this is all like the base that we have. Okay, now this is a stream of data that we have. Okay, there are some predefined data sets what Azure has given for us on Raspberry Pi online simulator. Okay, you need to come for this line. Can you find this connection string? We have to remove this and you need to replace with your own connection string what you have. Okay, so what I can do is I will remove this. I'll just get this removed and we will go up with the connection string which we copied, right? This one. So you can just copy and you can paste it here. Okay, so that's the connection string. Once after you paste the connection string, you have run. Okay, should be able to find it down. Okay, connection string has been declared here. Let's try this. Just give me a moment, I will check. So I have my devices here. IoT device. Let's copy the connection string from here, and I will use that. Okay. Primary connection string, is it copied? Connect error undefined IoT hub client. Client has been defined here. Don't know why we are getting. Okay, guys, just makes sense. Okay, this is something that we are getting messed up with. Okay, on the IoT device. So once after you have given these values, what you can do is you can click on save. Okay, give me a moment. I will check this and I will let you know. Let's say run. I will go here. Let's go to the overview. And I will click on start to start the job. Right, you can just say start the job now. I hope the job is running. Okay, the job is running now. Well, let's go across and here in this IoT device, right? Let's go to the resource group. We have the storage. You remember we created a storage, and inside the container you can find the data. So let's go for this storage account. Code system blob. We have blobs. And we have container 1. So here you should be able to find it here. I guess this is a problem with the message into Azure IoT Hub, sending message into Azure. We have received the data now. Let's check. Yeah, now can you find this? I can go to the code Sizzler 1 and I have the data which has been processed. You can select this. You can click on edit blob and you can find the data here. This is some error, I don't know, some warning it was throwing across, okay, but now we are getting it. Okay, we already configured it, but it was saying empty like that. Okay, but somehow we are getting the data. Okay, so this is how Stream Analytics works. You have processing the messages at real time, and the data gets added up on your blob at real time. Can you find this? You have more number of data which keeps on adding, and you can find it over here as well. in the output. It keeps on adding 84 now, 85, 86. As much as the data gets blinked here, the data is set to be added. So now the temperature is also like only greater than 27 will be added, not less than that. That's where Stream Analytics process the data. So this is 22. This will not be added. Okay. Only the data which is said to be greater than 27, right? So those data alone will be added across. Are you clear? Any questions? Hey guys, are you trying the demo? Just let me know if you people are trying the demo, okay? And so that's about the Stream Analytics that we have, okay? Event Hub, Stream Analytics, all these things. You can keep me posted if you have any questions as of whatever we have created now, okay? Please let me know if you're done with this. Okay, I will go up with your event hubs. Hey guys, we shall go for the next demo if we are good to go here. I hope I'm connected with you. All right, good. We have another person who has done the demo. Okay, let's go to the event tab, right? We were discussing about event tabs. So remember, event tab is going to be for the big data streaming that you do. Okay, you can do the event ingestion, you can take up receiving the messages, processing millions of messages and everything, okay, at one sort of time. So you can process and you can store the events, you can store the data, telemetrics and everything using the event tab. So here, let's go up with the demo on creating the event tab. Okay, and I'll just let you know what all the terminals that we have in the event tab, and you can take it on your own further. So let's go ahead, and I'll start creating an event tab. Let's click on Create a Resource. And let's click on resource groups that we have, or we can even say event tabs. So go to the event tabs and click on Add to create it. So let's say Code Sizzler. I told you, right, it's going to use service bus. Can you find this? It's not queue, it is service bus. Okay. And pricing tier, you can find it here. You have free, you have basic, standard, all these things. We were discussing something called consumer groups. Just get synced up here. Yes. So here we were saying something called as consumer groups. Okay, you can have a number of groups that you have here, and the same you're recommending over here as well. Okay, you can have one consumer group on 100 brokered connections. Okay, so this is going to be one consumer group, 100 brokered connections can be there. Okay, let's say basic for the pricing one, and resource group, I'll call the TCS resource group that we have, Southeast Asia. This is my data center location. And we have the throughput units as well over here. Okay, you can just let know what throughput units you're going to use it across. Let's say 1, and it can also go for auto scaling when it goes beyond. Okay, can you find this? Auto inflate throughput units. Let's click on create to get it created. So the event hub is now created. Let's go to the event hub. So here you see this is just said to be a namespace that we have. Inside this you can create event hubs. Can you find this? We have event hubs. You can see create a new event hub. And there we can say the partition count, message retention days. We are there at the basic one, so we don't have message retention for us. You can just say event hub alone to be created. Event hub 1 and the partition count to be created across. So when you click on create, you will get the event hub to be created now. And this you can call it on the application that you're going to develop. Let's say I'm going to develop an application on the .NET or .NET Core, something like that. We can consume this using the keys or using the shared access policies that we have. Okay, so I'll click this. Now this is same like IoT Hub. I hope you can make sense, right? This is going to do the partition count and it can transfer the data. See, we have shared access policies for this as well. So I can click on the shared access policy and you can click on add to get the access policy to be added up. You can say either it's going to be read or write, send or listen. Okay, you can create a policy name and you will get the connection string for that. So that's exactly where we go with the event hub. Okay. So that's almost what we have for the today's topic. Okay, and by that we come to the end. You can let me know if you have any questions. We have around like 1 hour now. You can let me know if you have any questions even in the previous demo what we are working on. And further, you can even keep us written if you have any handouts to be looking after or something like that. Okay, any sort of support or anything, you can just keep us written.
Yeah, this is Ray. I just had
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess Azure SQL data warehouse was also like to be covered. So I'm not sure if that was covered.
I hope Shashank could have covered you SQL data warehouse. Others, can you just put up lights on that, please? He told me that he has covered.
Okay, I thought because there was, in the later days there was a full session, so I thought there would be a more comprehensive session on that. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
And,
we have it covered, but still, if you need, I hope you got the handouts as well. We can check the GitHub. Just give me a moment. Is the just acknowledge me the GitHub link alone. It's github.com/jumpstartninjatech, and let me know what's the GitHub you guys are using so that we can check if the topics are covered or not. Go for repositories. Is this the one which you guys had? Hero Solutions Big Data VALT? Hello?
yes.
Yes.
Or this one, VALT data?
1 moment, let me check.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. And data lake is there. We already have.
Like SQL data warehouse was not like as such in depth, so I thought there was a separate session for that.
Just give me a moment. In depth in the sense, what was covered in data warehouse? Can you just put up lights on that, please?
There was just, there was a, in general, overview given of what it is, but while we were being shown the database data factory, so it was just shown as another component. But yeah, it was not like we didn't like the way we had done Azure SQL database. So there was not no session like that for SQL warehouse. And I thought that we.
Okay. Just give me a moment. I will pull some slides for that, and I will stick towards the data warehouse. Okay. Because we have the recording, and it was actually what Microsoft has planned for the content. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Excuse me, on screen, please. So this is actually what we have for the data warehouse here. And the demo for data warehouse is to create a data warehouse, okay, adding up tables to be executed, all these things. I can cover this if you need. I don't know whether did you go up with adding up the executable external tables, all these things on the data warehouse?
No.
Okay,
No.
fine. Not an issue. I'll just cover it now. Okay, my internet is down. Give me a moment. I'm reconnecting.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I hope I'm connected with you guys. Is my screen is visible?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and I'll start with it, right? So see, your data warehouse, let me stick from this slide, okay? Okay, your data warehouse is the one which is going to take you up when we have group of databases. Your database is said to be, see, I will say Azure SQL DB that comes for text processing, and data warehouse is the one which comes for analytics processing, right? You have the analytic processing workloads, so there we will be using this data warehouse component. Data warehouse is like a group of databases that you're going to connect across. Okay, it's not like you have only one database and you're going to connect across as such. You're going to have a group of database. You're going to add more number of workloads that you have, and it can go up with Gen 1 and Gen 2 things. Okay, it helps you to come up with a MPP, massive parallel processing architecture, and the massive parallel processing architecture will be having separate compute nodes, which is going to break the queries. Okay, and it's going to run across on the different layers that you have. Okay, so there'll be one common storage, and you're going to break the piece of queries that you have, your query processing things, and each and every compute node will be checking for the same result values, and it will return up with the queries, which is going to have more of executions. Okay, so there we go up with the data warehouse. Your data warehouse can accept the inputs, which can be from the Databricks, it can be from the blob storage, it can be from Event Hub, IoT Hub, anything like that. So data warehouse is like an ocean that we come across. And the output can also be connected with analysis service, or it can be with Power BI, Tableau, cognitive services, anything. Okay. So I would repeat this architecture. Your data warehouse architecture is set to be with the ingression. Ingression can be on data factory, blob storage, anything that you have. You're going to store the data, okay, which is said to be again on a blob or in a data lake. We're going to prepare and train the data using Databricks, which was already covered. You can do the data modeling, all these things, and model and service, like you do something called as data remodeling, right? You do engineering work on the data that you have. We ideally call it as a polybase. You have something called a schema, which represents how exactly the data looks like, and then you come across saying that this is going to be the data that we have, okay, that has to be represented on the output terminal. So this re-engineering work from the unstructured data, breaking up the queries, getting the results on huge performance compute, all these things can be taken care by the SQL data warehouse. Okay, so that's exactly where we go up with SQL data warehouse. Your data warehouse can fit in on all these scenarios that we have. It can be for a data catalog, it can be for a AD environment, you can monitor it, okay, you can ingest the data from various environments. So in any of these things, you can fit in your data and service architecture that we have. So here I have a comparison when to use your SQL database and when to use your data warehouse. Okay, let's leave these two things. This you guys should have known. SQL DB is that when you have up to 4 TB of data which is compressed, okay, then you will go up with SQL database. But this cannot help you when you say about analytics processing, okay? Whereas this one, your SQL data warehouse will go up with analytics processing. It comes up with HD insights. It helps you to go up with data prep, train, and demodel it once again. Okay, so those things can be done using your SQL data warehouse. We do have this architecture where you can go up for evaluation of the data warehouse. So you have big data workloads, you're going to connect it. It's same like what we were discussing before, you're going to ingest, store, and prepare it. Okay, I don't want to waste the time. I will quickly go across speaking about how I can create a data warehouse and what we have inside the data warehouse across. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll start working on the data warehouse part. Let me go to the Azure portal, my Azure portal here, and let's create a data warehouse. Okay. Okay, let's say SQL data warehouse. Now click on create to get it created. Let me use the same resource group, TCSRG, and I'll say it's code Sizzler DWH. Server, let's create a new server. It's gonna be codesizzler.database.windows.net. Demo user, login ID, and password for the same. Location is Southeast Asia. Let's click on select. And here you can find we have Gen 1 and Gen 2. When it is huge performance compute, you will go to Gen 2. Okay. And when it is a minimal one, you will go with the Gen 1. So let's go with the Gen 2 with a minimal one. Okay. Let's click on apply. And here we have the data and all these things. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. My internet is down. Just give me a second. I'll try connecting it once again.
Okay.
All right, now it's fine. Let's go up with, if you have a backup, you can call the backup. Okay, here I will go up with none, and then I will start creating it. Okay, let's create this SQL data warehouse now. Let's wait for this to be completed. Hello? Hello? Guys, my WebEx has been logged out. Just give me a moment. I'm logging in again. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, sir. I'm sorry, there was a interrupt. So here we go. The data warehouse is getting created for us. Okay. You can find here the data warehouse is getting created. So once after this data warehouse gets created, I will go up with my SSMS one. Okay. I will start my SSMS meanwhile. Meanwhile, you can keep me written if you have any questions. See here we have the data warehouse which has been deployed. Okay, so you can go to the resource and you will find a server there. See, the data warehouse is running. So I can go to the server settings. I have server here. Let's click on the server name. And let's go for firewall settings and let's keep the client IP to be added up. Now let's go up with SSMS. I hope the SSMS is loaded. I'm just waiting for the SSMS to be up. Give me a moment. Let's go for the server authentication. So I can copy the server name from here. Go to the overview. Just copy the server name. SQL Server Authentication. Okay guys, on screen please. So this is the data warehouse which we have created. Okay, and you can go to the database. You should find a master there, right? In system database, you have a master one. Okay, now please make sense here. I've given you this link. Okay, I have shared the code on a link over here. Okay, you can take up the link. It's bit.do, sorry, codeshare.io slash, okay, it is A3K PD6, okay. Right, so here I have the scripts for you, okay. You can copy the scripts here, and I have given the header files as well for your reference, okay, the commentary files. So here I am going to create a login for the user, okay. First, let me share the code share script with you guys. I will forget that. Yeah, where is the chat? Right, you can go to this chat option and I mean the link, and you can get the scripts. So let's go up here. Okay, I will take this user ID. Okay, I'm going to create a user who takes the permission to add the data into the data warehouse. I'll go here and this is my SSMS that we have. Let's close one. Let's say new query. I'll go up here and I'll add the query. Okay, can you find this? I'm just pasting it. Give me a moment. Yeah. So I'm going to create a user, okay, with loader RC20 with password of this. Okay, and that's going to be at master. When you click on execute, this user will be created. Can you find this? Command completed successfully. And you can also set permission. Okay, so I have it here for you. You can set permission, grant permission. Okay, for the database for this user. So you can just copy this. I'm sorry. Someone is trying to copy. Okay, let's say new query. I'll paste this across. And let's replace this. Okay, instead of my sample data warehouse, it's going to be code Sizzler DWH that we have. And I'll select here with code Sizzler 1, and then I can execute. Right, so this user has been created now. Either way, you can go with the master one, or you can log in with this user and you can keep the data to be added now. Let's make sense here. I'll create a master key. So only one master key can be created for one database. So you can create a master key here. And let's go with execute. So the master key has been created. And next, we are going to put up the data source. We are going to call the data source. This is ingesting the data. You're just going to represent the data is set to be on a type of Hadoop. Can you find this? I will put it here. See, the type is Hadoop that you have. Location is from a blob storage that you're going to call the data. Okay, so that is the data which is said to be NY, the New York taxi cab data that you have in the blob. So you can just, I'm sorry here once again. Let's say we need to execute this. Okay. So this data has been called. Okay, it's not represented yet. Now we are going to create the file format and everything, then we will call the data. So you can create the external file format. Can you find this? Wait, I will just put up this first and then I will show you. So you can create external file format. Okay, you have the uncompressed data. You're going to say that my data is set to be a delimited text that you have. It's going to be compressed CSV or it's going to be on an uncompressed CSV. You're going to give the representation of your data, how it looks like. So this is for the source that you have. Okay, let's execute this. And in the destination, can you find this? I'm going to call the schema extension for the external table. Okay, so I'm going to create an external table and I'm saying that it should be of the same schema of how we have represented now. Okay. So let's say this and I will create. Now we are going to call the external tables. Can you find this? I'm creating an external table. I'm going to give up the collation for the same. Okay. For each and every data, I'm going to give the collation, how it should look like. Okay. And we are giving the values here. Date. Okay. Location, where it is. What sort of data it looks like. Okay. Please keep me return if you have any questions. This should take some bit time. I hope you guys can make sense. See, this query is about the data. You're representing the data on the external table. Okay. And next is where you're going to call the data. See, the next one which you have is loading the data. You're going to say, I have created table, okay? I need to go up with round robin, or I need to go up with hash based one between the tables. I'm going to represent it over here. All right, the query is executed. Now let's load the data. Okay, so you can go up here, you can load the data. Right, so I'll copy till this and I can load the data now. This will take a bit time, okay, because it's going to go up with your loading the data towards your data warehouse. There's some error. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so here you can find the data has been loaded across, okay? So you have your data which has been loaded across. This is your representation. You have created external tables, and this is exactly where we have the data which has been added into your data warehouse. All right, I will share this scripts with you guys. I have already added it on the chat panel. Okay, I am sending it once again. You can use the script for the demo on the data warehouse part. Any other questions? Or any other topics you guys want to discuss? All right. Okay, so yes, I got the mail. You have the survey sheets. Just give me a second. I will share the survey form with you. Hey guys, I'm just sharing the survey link. Please make sure that you will complete the feedback forms here. I'll also put it on the notepad over here.
And Suresh, is the deck that you have shown right now there in if you could share that?
I'm sorry, can you come again?
The deck that you had shown just before this warehouse demo, can you share that?
Link, this one.
The PPT that you had.
Okay, GitHub one. Okay.
I'm not sure if that is there in the one which is shared. I just wanted to confirm.
The PPT. Okay, the PPT is not there on the GitHub link. I will push it here. As of now, it's not there. I'll push it over there. Okay, you can expect by next 1 hour, something like that. You can find it over there.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you have the repo link with you, right? You have this repository link with you.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Any other questions?
On the day one, actually, we had Kishore who had given an overview. So, I mean, that deck, Kishore.
Okay, let's do one thing because there were 3 trainers. Okay, I will give you my email ID and my office email ID as well. Okay, take both of these email accounts.
Okay.
Please do write us if you are looking for any handouts or documents, anything like that. If you have missed out, I will do it or my office team will do that for you. Okay.
Okay.
So the second ID is mine and the first ID is the support team of my office. You can write to those guys as well.
Okay.
Yes. All right, guys. If you're all done, we can break with this for the day. Just keep me posted if you're done, please. And please complete the survey form here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining as well. Thanks for your timing. Well, guys, we will break with this for the day. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Please keep us written if you have any questions or anything like that. Okay, we will be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Bye-bye.
So, everyone, session is over, or is there anything else also to discuss right now? Hello?
It's over with actually.
So any queries, or how did you all find the session? I mean, since you're all here,